Hello and welcome. I'm here to give a presentation on the Danish PRRS reduction strategy, progress, lessons learned and next steps. My name is Nikolai. I'm a DVM and PhD from Denmark. I'm working as a project manager of the Danish reduction strategy and my employee is the Danish Agriculture and Food Council. Before watching the video, please subscribe to 돈플래너 TV, like the video and turn on the notifications. This presentation will give a brief description of the Danish pig production and the SPF health system that we have in Denmark. I will describe how the Danish PRRS history and also give a thorough description of the Danish PRRS reduction strategy. First of all, some figures on the Danish pig production. These are the latest figures that we have for 2024. The Danish population of pigs is about 1,000 sow herds, and we have 3,000 growers and 300 sow to finisher herds. The average size of our herds are 900 sows per herd and approximately 8,500 finishers production per year per herd. The total amount of sows in Denmark is near 950,000 sows, and we're producing nearly 31 million heads. 14.5 million of these pigs are being finished in Denmark and slaughtered, and 90% of the pork is exported all around the world. Around 16.4 million pigs is exported alive at 30 kilo, mainly to the market in Germany and Poland. To the right here you can see the key figures of the production that we have in Denmark. Our sow herds is very high producing sow herds where we have weaned pigs per sow per year above 35 pigs. The litter size is very high as well, on average 18.5 live-born pigs per litter. In the grower phase we have an average daily weight gain of nearly 500 grams per day, and the mortality rate is just below 4%. The finisher herds, you see a very high average daily weight gain, and we are now above 1 kilo gain per day on average, and the mortality rate is just below 3.5%. So these are how you see the Danish pig production. It is very specialized and highly efficient farms that are in business in Denmark as it is by now. And here is some general biosecurity precautions that we are using in Denmark. We call it the basics. This is just what we are used to do, and this is why we can do stuff like national PRRS reduction programs. First of all, we only have hobby backyard farms, meaning we don't have any production. They are only hobby pet pigs and stuff like that, but we don't really have any production. Another very important thing is we do not use swell feeding. It has been banned for many years in Denmark. Another thing is that, as I told you, we export a lot of pigs, but we do not import live pigs. And by that we can control our own situation and avoid importing us new animal diseases. All Danish herds are registered in a central husband register, meaning we have information on all the herds, the size of the herds, position of the herds and the owner of the herds. We also record all movement of livestock in Denmark, also pig of course. They are recorded daily in a what we call movement database. It's a public database, so everybody knows who's trading pigs with whom. We have a very strict biosecurity system called SPF system. It's been in place since 1971, so it's a very thorough system and we're very used to using it. And another very important thing about biosecurity is that we have a system where we wash and disinfect all returning trucks of livestock truck that has been in Europe coming back to Denmark across the border. They need to be washed. Here is another description on how we're actually controlling these biosecurity measures. It's mainly done by the herd veterinarian. For instance, there's a design of herd areas where you have what we call a Danish lock. So you have to enter the farm at a certain place. You need to change your clothes, wash your hands and stuff like that. And that is being controlled by the herd veterinarian. Another important measure is that we have facilities and the vehicles for loading of live pigs. They have their rules and regulations for that, and we need to check that these rules are being followed every day to make sure we don't introduce anything by vehicles. And a third thing is that the disposal of dead animals is also being described with quite strict rules, and also rodent control, and these are being checked by the herd veterinarian for every visit. Okay. Just a bit more description on the Danish SPF system. As I said, it's a very old system. It's been in place since 1971, and it was established by the Danish pig industry. SPF means specific pathogen free, and it means that your herd is being controlled and checked, and if you don't have any of these diseases, you have a declaration saying you're free of it. It contains 8 infectious swine diseases, including PRRS type 1 and type 2. There's a serological surveillance and clinical science in place, meaning that all these herds are being tested yearly, and the veterinarians are checking them for clinical signs for these diseases. The system is built with a transparency, meaning that the health status of each of these herds is available online for all stakeholders. So it's possible to check the health status of all these herds every day. The principle of the Danish SPF system is that the health status is declared for the connecting herds. That means when you're trading pigs, you need to consider if the health of the pigs. If you buy pigs with a lower or poorer health status, you will also get a poorer health status. And that system is in work every day. We call it the backbone of Danish pig production because nearly 80% of all the sows are what we call SPF sows, meaning you have this health status of all these sow herds. On top of that, 100% of all the breeding stock has a health status as well, so you know the health status of all these gilts that you buy in for your sow herds. This is very important to have a system like this when you have to go and do national eradication programs. Okay, very shortly I will give a description on the Danish PRRS history. Okay, PRRS, how did it arrive in Denmark? First of all, PRRS was a new swine disease that was identified in the USA back in 1987. What they found there was what we call PRRS type 2. In Europe, another strain that was detected a few years later in the Netherlands, and that what we call type 1. That strain was also registered for the first time in Denmark in 1992 in a herd in the southern part of Denmark on the island of Als. So we had type 1 in 1992. Type 2 was introduced to Denmark by an MLV vaccine that was imported from the US a couple of years later. And since then, PRRS has been endemic in the Danish pig production. We see an even distribution between type 1 and type 2, and the disease has been controlled at herd level with the management measures and by use of vaccination. And that has been going on now for nearly 30 years. Thank you for your attention.